Hello, good morning. Welcome to another video. This is my morning routine. I've literally just woken up, so I need to make my bed and get dressed. I wanted this to be authentic, so I've literally just woken up. So give me a minute to get dressed and sort my life out a little bit, and I'll be back. Okay, I have stepped outside to say hello. So this is my morning routine. To be honest, it's not what I do every day. Most days I exercise first thing. So first thing in the morning, I do some exercise. But there are some days each week where I don't do that. Like today, I'm going to go to the gym a little bit later this afternoon. So this is my morning routine for when I am not exercising first thing. So you saw me open the curtains and make my bed. What I'm going to do now is go to the toilet. I'm not going to show you that bit. And then I'm going to weigh myself and have a nice big glass of water and then clean my teeth. I always weigh myself first thing in the morning so that it is the most consistent, because if you weigh yourself at different times throughout the day, then it changes. It's not consistent. You've eaten, you've drunk water, liquid, and you've been to the toilet. So the most consistent and accurate way to do it is first thing in the morning after you've been to the loo, which is an informal British way of saying going to the toilet. So I'm going to put my shoes on because I'm going to pop out for a morning walk. Pop out. What does pop out mean? Well, there are many phrasal verbs with the word pop, and I will probably make a video on this. There are lots of videos about this already, but when we pop somewhere, we go somewhere quickly. It gives the idea that it is just a quick visit or a quick activity, a quick outing, for example. So if I'm popping out, I'm leaving the house for a short duration of time. These clothes that I'm wearing right now, they're not clean clothes, okay? These are the clothes that I wore yesterday, but I haven't showered yet, as you have seen. So I'm going to pop out for my morning walk, and then I'll shower when I get back and put some clean clothes on after my shower. So to lock the door, I need to lift the handle to make sure the door is closed properly. And then I need to put the key into the lock and twist it clockwise. So in the same direction that the clock goes. And then there, can you hear that? There, when you hear that noise, it is locked. So you might be wondering why I weigh myself in the mornings. You might not be wondering that, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So there are two reasons. The first one is because I track my weight on the Garmin Connect app. So for my watch, there is an app and you can track your weight, and it makes a pretty graph like this, a pretty graph. And I like it. I like looking at that graph. And the second reason is because I do quite a lot of exercise and I eat quite a lot of food, I want to make sure that I'm not eating too much or too little food. So if I am losing weight, then that means I need to start eating a little bit more food. But if I start gaining too much weight, then that means I should probably stop being such a fat little piggy. So that's a good point, actually. What is a piggy? What does the word piggy mean? So it's not actually a baby pig. So like how with cats you have kittens, with dogs you have puppies. A pig, or a baby pig, is a piglet. So what is a piggy? So this is actually a form of the diminutive, which a lot of people think that English doesn't have. So if you've ever heard a language like Spanish or Portuguese, it's very, very common. So they add ito or iño at the end of some words, and this changes it to a smaller, cuter version of that thing. And it's not very common in English at all, but it does exist. And piggy is an example of this. So a piggy, like a cute little fat pig, not a baby pig, just a cute little fat pig. I've just done some research and it turns out that piglet is actually a diminutive, but it is the official technical term for a baby pig, whereas piggy is not. So piggy is a better example of the diminutive. So like I said, it's not super common in English, but when we do it, most of the time, it is formed in the same way by adding E or E's on the end. So for example, kitten goes to kitty. And I actually use that one all of the time when talking about my cat. I call her a kitty cat, a kitty cat. And other examples include doggy, doggy, birdie. You can probably hear them in the background, all of the little birdies. And mummy and daddy. That's actually a very, very common one that I forgot about. So baby humans, babies will call their parents mummy and daddy until they are a little bit older, and then they start calling them mum and dad. Okay, so when I do this morning walk, I normally walk down to this mound here, this small little hill. There are some steps next to it to go into the next field, but I turn around at this point here, and then I walk back up to where I came from. And this isn't just a route for my morning walk. If ever I want to come for a little walk, often in the evening at sunset time, I'll come and do this as well. So now that I've been for my morning walk, I feel a little bit more awake, definitely, but I wouldn't say that I feel refreshed, not yet. So the next part of the routine is the worst part. It's pretty awful, but immediately after, it is the best part because I feel amazing. I feel on top of the world. I feel like a rocket ship. And you might have guessed what that is already. I don't know why, but the shower here at my dad's house is the coldest shower I have ever experienced. It does go warm. It is quite a nice warm shower. But when you turn it to the coldest setting, oof, the cold. I don't know why. It's so cold. But that's good. That's what I like. I feel like a rocket ship. So what I normally do is start off with it at a warm temperature, and then I slowly make it colder and colder and colder until it is on the coldest setting possible. And then I start my timer and I go for 3 minutes. And I have a secret. My secret is the box method. Now, this is usually used in like meditation, that sort of thing. It's a breathing technique, a breathing method, I guess. So you breathe in for for 4 seconds, and then you hold your breath for 4 seconds, and then you breathe out for 4 seconds, and then you hold it for 4 seconds, and then you breathe in again. So I guess like a box if you want to visualize it in your mind, but just really deep, slow, strong breaths. And that really helps. So breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And that really helps me whenever I do anything in cold water. Obviously it sucks for the first little bit, but then you would be surprised how much better you feel, how much control you feel you have, and I would recommend it. I would recommend it. Other than getting you to practice your English, I am trying to get you to start new habits. So start having cold showers, start practicing your English. Recently, I have started posting 5-minute daily English listening practice videos. That's too much to say. I need to change the name. But every day on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify, there are 5-minute episodes for you to practice your English listening skills. Everybody has 5 minutes in their day, so there are no excuses if you need to practice, if you need to improve your English listening skills. Okay, that is it from me. I've been talking for too long. This morning routine has nearly lasted until the afternoon, so I'm going to make coffee and have breakfast and start work. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you check out the definitions of the vocabulary in the description, and I will see you in the next video.